Good evening, guys. It's 8 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started. We have a great special plan for you guys tonight. We have EC Tim Devine on tonight. He's our Thompson Leadership Award winner. But I have the best person in the world that can edify Tim, and she does tons and tons of studies, so she knows her stuff. So I'm going to bring Courtney Dowdy on, my very close friend, and she's going to introduce you and tell you what the Thompson Leadership Award and Ambit thinks about it. Courtney, are you on?
I am, Derek. Thanks for having us.
No problem.
We're so excited, Ambit family. We have executive consultant Tim Devine. Not only is he an EC, he fast-tracked to RC, fast-tracked to SC. He and his wife fast-tracked to EC and was named the 2018 Thompson Leadership Award winner. Now, Ambit describes the Thompson Leadership Award as being handpicked by our CEO, Jerry Thompson Jr., for tirelessly upholding the values of leadership, integrity, character, honesty, and team focus. Tim, welcome. We are so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here and very humbled by that introduction, and just here to help any way I can. So let's fire away here, whatever we can do.
Well, we love your servant heart and love your faith. And I love how every time you're on, you're always talking about your devotions first and getting your head on straight before you walk out the door. I love that. It's amazing. Tell us. So I want to talk a little bit about how you feel after coming out of Ambition, having won such a great honor of the Thompson Leadership Award.
Well, that was a huge surprise to my wife and I. We had absolutely no idea. That totally caught us off guard. And so one of the things that kind of did for us as far as an impact is it just let us know that there's a huge responsibility. And if you look at there's only been 12 of those awards given out, and the company that the people that have won that award, again, it's very humbling, especially for someone that's fairly new at this. We've gotten to know Jerry and Carolyn, helped over in Japan, and just our co-founders are the best of the best. And so with leadership in the field and the corporate leadership, that was a really encouraging thing for us, just winning that award. But coming home, one of the things that happened with this Ambition for us was we felt like the content from start to finish was the best we'd ever seen in any business. We've been in other businesses or any Ambition. It was our third Ambition. And so we came home, and I'll tell you, we just got laser focused. And we had an in-home last night, had a packed house, had Ray Monty here, had an in-home Monday night, had a packed house, had Ray Monty here. Showed the plan a couple times. I showed the plan 3 times today. Did a few meetings with Ray while he was here. Since I've been home from Ambition, we've been showing the plan every single day with some huge goals, taking advantage of the promotions. I don't say this publicly very often, but I will say it tonight just because it came up today. Bear Gordon called me, and we were talking about some different things. And I told him what my goal was during this promotion period. And I said, I want to go personally sponsor 20 people. And he said, that's pretty aggressive. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to try. And I said, I think I can do it. And it's a matter of, really, really taking this thing extremely serious and looking at it one day at a time and saying, okay, who can I get this in front of? Who can I get to watch a video and get on a 3-way call? Who can I reach out to? Who can I get back in touch with that maybe I talked to a year ago or 2 years ago? Get your names list out, dust it off, be bold, go out on faith, and just start looking for those people that are looking for you. And so, we are more excited about this business than when we started. And when my wife and I started 3.5 years ago, we came out of the gate hot. I mean, I felt like I had a little bit of experience and I kind of knew what to do. But now I'm not ignorance on fire. I've got a little bit of experience on fire. So we feel like now we can go out and help a lot of other people. And the goal for us, the thing, everybody's different that gets into Ambit. For us, it wasn't financial. it wasn't, we'd already had a lot of the financial rewards in life, and we've done very well. We could kick back and take it easy and kind of, coast in life, and we'd be fine. But we don't want to be those people. We like living outside our comfort zone. Tomorrow we're going into our shop for a half a day, and then we're jumping on the road at 1:30 to drive 3 hours to go meet a businessman up in northern Maine that's got the potential to really blow this thing up. He was an Emerald in Amway years ago, and then got a meeting with a realtor after that and her boyfriend. We're going to go to dinner with them and show them the plan. They know what it's about. But, we'll probably get home at, 1 or 2 in the morning and then start over again on Friday and just run. And so it's every day, just getting out there, mapping it out, having a plan, and then executing the plan. And so, it's funny because I'm actually dialing back what I'm really thinking in my head because I don't want to scare people. It's like we're so excited and we're so amped up, and just there's so much fun going on right now. And one of the things that we hope that people don't do is miss out on this opportunity, not only through the promotional period, but through the fall. And then looking at this company and looking at what's coming, I mean, the writing's on the wall with new markets in the next few years. You look at the whole West Coast. I sat and had breakfast with Chris Chambliss on our first 5-star trip, and my wife is born and raised from California. I grew up in California, and we had breakfast, and I was talking to him about California. I said, Chris, what are the possibilities? What do you think? And so he gave me some history there. And, one of the things he said to me that I'll never forget, he said, if and when California opens up, when we open for electricity in California, Ambit will double in revenue in 1 year. It will be much bigger than Japan. And so when you think about that, here's why. Number one, California is the number one state in the country for network marketing by far. Number 2 is Texas. Number 3 is Florida. 2 of the top 3 are not open yet. Okay, so if you look at that, and then you look at just the sheer idea of all the states that haven't opened yet, like Nevada, Arizona, there's a few other ones on the bubble, but and then the population on the entire West Coast. I've got to think too that if Arizona, Nevada, and California open up, there's probably going to be a few other ones that do as well. So, you look at our young company, there's 49 millionaires that have been generated, and how many people have made $5 or $6 or $7 or $800,000 that aren't counted on that list? And then you look at the size of our company. In 12 short years, we're the youngest billion-dollar company in the top 20 on the list, and we haven't even gotten started yet. So to say I'm excited is an understatement. Hearing Jerry talk about the security of electricity, the demand around the world that is not going away, it's just going to grow stronger and stronger and stronger. And the technology and the way Ambit stays on top of the cutting edge stuff that's coming out, to be able to, have an Amazon Alexa tell me how many kilowatt hours I've used per month, or to pay my bill, or to be able to potentially say, I just sponsored John, and Alexa, how many customers does he need to trigger his second Jumpstart bonus? It's stuff like that that's coming, and it's going to happen. There's no question about it. If, again, you look at, I had a guy today, he was asking me, he's like, well, how does Ambit have an advantage in the marketplace? I said, well, one of the things that we have, and we don't publicly go out and advertise or represent Shell, but Shell Energy is the largest oil energy company in the world. And on any given day, it's the biggest company in the world. They do about $1 billion a day in revenue. And they're our partners, so it's like, we're in pretty good company. That's one of our advantages in the marketplace. And then you look at our IT, and then you look at the leadership of Chris and Jerry. So, again, to say I'm excited is a huge understatement. Got a lot of work to do. I'm boldly putting myself out there saying that I'm going to personally sponsor 20 people. As an executive consultant, think about this. As an executive consultant, with the bonuses coming out of Ambition for attendees, I think if it's with 10 customer points up here in the Northeast, it's $965 or something like that. So it's $1,000. I get someone started, help them trigger their Jumpstart bonuses during that period of time that they're eligible for that. And I'm not only going to generate $1,000, I'm also going to help them make some money. And I'm also going to have some downline activity from that. And I'm going to find a couple runners. I know that out of that 20, I'm probably going to find 2 or 3 that want to go out and run with this thing. And so those are the numbers, so that's what I'm banking on. That's what I'm doing right now, along with helping our team and whatever I can do to help anybody else. But and we're running a business. You know, some people say, "Oh, I'm busy. I'm too." Look, I understand busy. My wife and I, we came out of an arena where at one time in our early 20s, we were running 4 gas stations with multiple businesses coming out of that, plus doing network marketing, raising young children. So we understand busy. But you know what? Busy people get things done, and that's what you want to look for. If you want to have success in Ambit, number one, it's show everybody, don't prejudge, but go sponsor up. You know, I have people on my team that it's comfortable to sponsor people that are, you know, doing a little bit less in life, or they're a little bit above them in life. You know, maybe it's financially or whatever it is. I hate to say that, but really, it's they want to go out and help people, which is great. But you know, you got to find people. If you want to build this thing and have some success, you've got to find people that can get it done. You've got to find successful people, or people that are hungry. You know, so that's one thing that I think is very important, just being very honest. So hopefully that helps a little bit, and hopefully I'm on pace with the content that you want me to talk about here.
Oh man, we want you to talk about whatever you want to talk about, Tim. Now, I know you're in Maine. There's a lot of people that are on this that are watching from Texas that I could see, and we may not necessarily know your story. Me and Courtney do, but would you kind of just walk us through how you got involved with Ambit and the very early years in your business?
Yeah, well, it was 3.5 years ago. I was contacted by a stranger on Facebook, and the funny thing is, this guy, the only reason I accepted his friend request is because we had one friend in common. Otherwise, I wouldn't have accepted his friend request. He's a total stranger. So I accepted his friend request. He proceeded to inbox message me and have a short conversation and got my phone number. So once he did that, he called me and told me about Ambit Energy, and he did it all wrong. So I was approached 4 times about Ambit Energy. Being a traditional business owner, you get approached with, you know, different people all the time. So I'm kind of used to it. And I was approached the first time from a regional salesperson for Texas Roadhouse that was up here selling gift cards during the holiday season. And my nephew worked for Texas Roadhouse, sent this lady over, nice lady, never showed me a video, never showed me a Success from Home magazine, never showed me any literature, just told me about Ambit Energy. It was like, sounded great, but I wasn't interested. Second and third people both sent me emails that were, you know, just telling me stuff and never any personal touch. Delete. That was considered junk mail as far as I was concerned. I read the emails and deleted them. So then the fourth time was Ed Thompson, and he called me and he told me all about Ambit Energy. Never showed me a video, never got me on a 3-way call. Said way too much. He just went on and on and on that 15-minute conversation telling me about Ambit. And I told him, I said, I already heard of the company. Sounds like a great company. You know, I'm not interested. I'm busy. I'm happy. I'm not looking. And, you know, so that was that. I turned him down. And so what happened was the turning point, and I'm forever grateful to Ed Thompson. I believe he's made $200,000 so far from sponsoring me. He was an SC, struggling in his business, probably making a few $100s a month and earning free energy. Now he's been on a couple 5-star trips and earned some cash. And he's got some big time stuff going on up in Canada in his EC code right now. So I think he's going to blow it up. I call him the luckiest guy in Ambit. You know, one of his other personal consultants 2 years ago won the Mustang, and it's like, this guy's name is Lucky Charm. But anyways, when he called me back a week later, he asked me to be a customer. And at that point, the thing that he did was he sent me a couple of videos. We had a conversation, told me about free energy. That was kind of interesting. But then he sent me a couple of videos. And once I watched the videos, one was a web presentation by Mike Obey, and the other one was a short video about, you know, Chris and Jerry and the company. It was probably a 3 or 4 minute video. So once I watched those, I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. It looks good. I don't have anything to lose. I know I can get 15 customers and earn free electricity. And I decided to sign up. And really my goal was not to make all kinds of money and join another network marketing company. It was to earn free energy. And I wasn't afraid to take a risk and just give it a try, you know, just give it a shot, give it a crack, and you know, see what happened. Right. So then the turning point was I got a phone call from Ray Monty. Ed called him and told him, he asked him, he said, hey, can you give this guy up in Maine a call? I just sponsored him. And Ray said, well, how did you meet him? He goes, Facebook. And Ray's kind of rolling his eyes like, oh man, Facebook. And then it was Saturday night. It was the night before the Super Bowl. And it was a real snowy, cold night up here in Maine. And it was about 9 o'clock at night. And Ray said, you want me to call him this late? And it says, give him a call. Give him a call. So Ray called me, strange phone number from New York, 9 o'clock at night. Normally, Derek, I don't answer that phone. I let that go to voicemail. But for whatever reason, I answered that call that night and I talked for 2 hours to Ray. And we just had a great conversation. We talked about life, sports, network marketing, Chris and Jerry, this market up here, the potential. And I got excited. And I thought, you know what? This guy sounds like the real deal. And I told him, I said, I'm the most coachable guy you know. I said, you say jump and I'll say how high. You tell me what to do and I will do it. I will not deviate. And I'm a hard worker. And so I told him that. And he said, okay. And about 12 days later, I promoted to RC. He came up and, we met that night. I'll never forget it. And the thing about this was it was a snowy night in New England, real snowy. He drove from Pennsylvania 7 hours in a snowstorm, got here. There was a BP and we hung out, talked, this, that, and the other thing. And he jumped on the road and drove home. And I'm going, wow, this guy's an animal. This guy's a winner. And I'm like, this guy had my respect. I mean, he had my respect and my attention from day one. And I'm like, man, I'm not missing out on working with this guy. And so we went to work. We rolled up our sleeves and went to work, and it's been fun. I mean, that's really what we've done. I'm very fortunate to have some people to work with like that, and just a lot of things happened for us that were unique, and I recognize it, and I didn't take it for granted. I don't take this company and this opportunity for granted. It is a blessing and it is a gift, and I know my job is to share it with as many people as I can.
That is so awesome. Last week you were on the Team 212 call, and I heard you say something about a new consultant and saying to them, who are we going to see? Talk to us about what you do when you have a new consultant in, and how you go about, what are the most important things to teach that newest consultant from the very beginning?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. And I'll tell you what, that's a conversation. I've got to ask my wife something real quick. Sonia, I need something really quick here. Your phone's dying and this battery charger is not charging this phone. I can't have it die. So anyways, it's funny. In 3.5 years, I'm still learning that. I'm talking about it, I'm doing it, but I'm still learning it. I'll tell you, we hear things on conference calls, certain things sound great and they make sense, but then you got to go out and you got to act on those things. And so hang on guys, I'm just replugging in my phone here just to make sure that it doesn't die. So here's the conversation Ray and I have had many times, and it's, you got to get people to get you in front of people. You've got to get new people. You've got to be able to relay the message that you're going to do the heavy lifting for them. Their job is to get you in front of people. It's not to sell this. It's not to explain it. Their job is to get you in front of people. And as an executive consultant, one of the things Ray taught me, even as a senior, he taught me, he said, you want to get people that are potential runners to get you in front of people and say, look, this is my business partner. He will buy you lunch. There's no obligation. We don't want anything. He will buy you lunch. That's one angle. The other angle is just getting a new person to be bold enough to get on their list with the people that are in their warm market, the people that they know well enough that if their lights are on their porch, you can go see them, right? And it's that simple. It's who's in that warm market that we could just go see and have a conversation. It's not the perfect sales pitch or the perfect phrase. I think a lot of us are waiting for that, that perfect line that it's comfortable, right? We're looking for a comfortable thing that we can do that's going to produce results. Well, there's no such thing as those two things coinciding, comfort and results. Okay. They don't coexist. It's just going and saying, okay, I've got to throw mud on the wall. We've got to go get in front of people. We got to connect with people. We got to ask questions. We got to find that person that has a little spark in their eye that's looking for something. And I've got the solution, And so again, that's a hard thing to learn on a conference call. It really is. It's easy to say, and I've literally got written on my wall. Now think about this. I'm going to show you something. It's on the wall in my kitchen. I'm a fanatic. I am a freak of nature. Okay. And I say that, kiddingly, but yet I'm not. When I had a conversation with Ray last night, and it was probably 11 o'clock at night, and he was talking and I was taking notes, and I'm going to show you the notes on my wall. And it was that same conversation. You couldn't have asked a better question. And here's my notes right here. And my notes say, who can you get me in front of? The second thing it says, who can you get me on the phone with? The third thing it says, who is the most successful person you know? Who's the most successful person you know that you can get me in touch with right now? Okay, and those were conversations that Ray was having with me. He said, this is what you're looking for. We had that big in-home, and he was driving home. And he said, you had a great meeting tonight. I had 4 personals here, and some other people had some people here. And he goes, what you're looking for is that person that can get you in front of people right away. And when I said I want to boldly sponsor 20 people and find 2 or 3 runners, those 2 or 3 are the ones that are going to do that. Those 2 or 3 are the ones that are going to get me on the phone, or get me in front of somebody, or, get me in touch with the most successful person they know. I don't want to talk to the least successful person they know. I don't want to talk to the person that needs Ambit the worst, but isn't willing to do anything about it, because the world's full of those people. I want to talk to the guy that's so busy he doesn't have time for this, and it's borderline irritating that I'm calling him up. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build a friendship. I'm going to crack the code. I'm going to say what I need to say. I might get rejected. Who cares, right? I had a guy on my team that there's this very successful business owner we're going to see tomorrow night. And his name's been tossed around for months with different people that have said they're going to go see him. And you know what I did? I called a friend of mine that runs a veterans hunting camp up north that knew this guy. And I knew that he knew him because I donated a bunch of money to this organization. It's called House in the Woods. Great people. So that's a whole nother story. But this guy's name is Paul House. And I texted Paul about a week ago. And I got sick and tired of these 3 or 4 people on my team saying that they're going to contact this guy. And I said, Paul, do you have Brian Sauer's phone number? And he texted me back with his cell phone number. And I was just going to call this guy myself and go see him because I know him. But I was waiting for someone on my team to do it. So anyways, a guy that works, he's a banker. He's on my team and in my EC code. I heard that he wanted to contact Brian. And I said, listen, I'll tell you what, if you don't contact him, I'm calling him. If I contact him and I do all the work, I'm personally sponsoring him. And I gave him like a day, to act. And so he called him and he got a hold of him, and they've been communicating a little bit. And we're going up to see this guy tomorrow at 4:30. So it was getting this guy, number one, creating some urgency and fear of loss. Because he knew I said, this is his cell phone number, 229, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to tell everybody this guy's cell phone number. But I told him, and he's like, yeah, that is his number. I'm like, you better get in touch with him, because if not, I'm gonna. And if I sponsor him, he's mine. And so again, urgency, right? I'm a shark. I don't swim backwards. I don't look down, and I'm always moving. So it's having fun with it like that, right? Like pushing people, like, come on, let's go. Let's get out of your comfort zone. Let's build this thing. I've got so many people on my team that they don't get it. And they're great people and they're fun to work with. They want it, but not bad enough. And they're not willing to get off that nail on the porch. And so, again, I'm still going to help them. I'm still going to work with them. They're great people. They're friends. I'll do anything for them, but I'm not going to wait. I'm looking for that next person that says, you can count on me. I'm coachable. You tell me how high to jump, I'm going to do it. I'm the hardest working guy, and that's what I'm looking for, or girl. And they're out there. I do know this. Here's what I know. The person that's made the most in Ambit hasn't even signed up yet. In other words, or the person that's going to make the most. That hasn't happened yet in this company. And so I'm fully convinced of that. And that Brian McClure's told me that more than once. And so it's not going to be, Steve Thompson's not going to be number 3 forever. Philip Eckert's not going to be number 2 forever. And Brian's not going to be number 1 forever. Those guys are not aggressively building this business anymore. They did their thing. kudos to them. Nothing wrong with that, but there are other people that are going to just take this thing to a whole nother level. And, I'd like to hope that I'm going to be a part of that group, and people on this Zoom presentation. I hope there's someone that's listening right now that I am hitting a nerve and getting you to think and dig a little bit deeper. That's my goal.
You're not lying, man. I know we got about 5 minutes here with you, and I'm going to shoot just a couple questions at you real quick here. And then I have one real important question I want to ask you at the end. But Coach Alan Johnson said, what are the most important things to teach a new consultant to do at the start? What is that?
Well, again, that's a great question. Wow. You hear things over and over and over again about plugging in and those type things. I think the most powerful thing, Derek, is getting someone paid. So there's something about a person getting that check that dwarfs the trainings or the conference calls or the power zone, or, really. And because you know what that does? It lets them know it's real, and their belief level skyrockets when they get a check or a couple checks. There's story after story and example after example of that I could tell you. And that's why they call it the belief check. I've got a guy that signed up on my team, and he's a extremely successful car dealer, owns a Cadillac, Chevy dealership. The guy has 4 or 5 homes. I don't know if the guy knows where the bottom of his pockets are. They're so deep. And but he's a great guy. He likes network marketing. He joined our team. And the funny thing is, he got a couple of checks when he first got started. He got some jumpstart bonus checks, and it was probably 6 months later. We were at a football game, watching a football game at a pub on a Saturday afternoon, and we were talking to some people, and he pulled those checks out of his wallet. Now, those checks have been in his wallet for 4, 5, 6 months, and he was showing people his $100 Ambit check. That he'll never cash, because he's like, he just gets a kick out of the fact that he's made money with this, and he's getting free energy, and he's triggered a bunch of jumpstart bonuses, and he just gets a kick out of it. Now, he's not out building, he's not going to go EC, I don't think. I mean, but again, that kept him in the game, and that got him to talk to some other people. And so that belief check, even for a guy like that the guy probably makes $1 million a year. I don't know how much he makes, but he makes a lot. And but he was more excited about it, showing people his Ambit jumpstart bonus checks than anything that day when we were watching a football game, with a bunch of people. So getting people paid, I think, is probably the most important thing for everybody. You don't want to sign people up just to sign people up. You want to get them paid. And so one of the things I tell people is, hey, look, the worst case scenario is you're going to make some money, and we're going to work towards getting you free energy. If you never do anything beyond that, you're ahead of the game. And so I say that honestly. And, my goal is to get them paid and trigger that jumpstart bonus, because they get that check. I feel like that gives me an opportunity to keep them in the game and not just sign them up.
That is 100% true. And Courtney, I'm sorry, I know it's your question, but we need to kind of wrap this up, because I know you got to be somewhere in about 2 minutes. But this is I like to tell people, that the Ambit gift was a dream that I had, and I've had the benefit of having tremendous leadership in this business. Coach Alan Johnson is a perfect example of a man that just proves it by doing it week in, week out, month after month, year after year. And, I like to ask this question, when I say the Ambit gift, what does that mean to you? And then I'm also going to tie one other question into that, because tonight on Coach Alan Johnson's call, as you can see behind me, I'm going to post this on the Ambit Gifts page. We're actually going to be speaking to your mentor tonight on the Team 212 call. This team wants to show you why we won the EC leadership and we got to sit up front, and we want to truly show you what it takes to learn and grow in this business. And Tim, you're a tremendous example of what we all want to be. We all want to be a suckerfish on you. And if you'll answer that question, I see Courtney flashing me here. Go ahead, man.
So what does the Ambit gift mean to me? Is that really the question, Derek?
Yes, sir. That's the main thing. And then I want you to just talk a little bit about Ray, if you don't mind, after that. But yeah, the main question is what does the Ambit gift mean to you?
Well, I feel like number one, it's a gift from God. I mean, in my opinion, I'm fully convinced with my story. There's a lot of things I left out about Ray. Ray praying for someone to come into his business at that time. He, going through the polar vortex, it was a real low time for him and Ambit. And he went from one of his lowest weekly checks to, in the month of February, I think it was February or March. He showed me what he made in the month of March. I think it was $356,000. So went from, in December, one of his lowest weekly checks to just a few short months later, the biggest month he's ever had in this business. And he was praying for someone to come into his business, and Ed Thompson was praying for, somebody to come into his business. That's a great story that I don't have time to fully tell, but maybe we can tell it another time. And, I've always prayed to be in the will of God, and to pray to get that compass pointed in the right direction, and, be doing whatever God's will is for my life. And I believe I'm doing that, because this is just a huge ministry. In my opinion, this is just a huge ministry of going out there and serving people for the right reasons. I think if you do this for the right reasons, with the right motivations and the right heart, you're going to be blessed. And, there's a period of time we all have to go through. God's patient, but his timing is perfect. And we want it yesterday, which is not a bad thing. But, sometimes we got to go through some things to get to that point where we can handle leadership, where we can handle, making the kind of money that we maybe want to make, right? Otherwise, if God just blessed you with all that money tomorrow, it might be a path of destruction for some people, right? So, it is a gift. It's absolutely a gift. I think the way you worded that is brilliant. And the last thing I'll say about my mentor, my friend Ray, and what he's done for me and my family is, I could talk for 2 hours about that. And he's someone that came into our life that, I needed a guy that's tough. I needed a guy that's really just tells it just exactly like it is. I told him early on, I said, Ray, you hit me right between the eyeballs with the truth, and that's all I want. That's what I'm looking for. And so we established that relationship. I gave him permission to be that way with me, and it's what I was looking for. I don't want someone just to give me the rosy fairy tale. I'm not looking for that. I want the truth. Let's go get this thing done, and let's tell it like it is. So that's what he does, and that's why we get along so well. And Ray's got such a big heart. I mean, a lot of times people that don't know Ray on a personal level, Sonia, can you dial in on that call real quick on my phone? I'm on my wife's phone right now, but it's right here. He is the most kind, giving, unbelievable servant person. Like I've seen so many situations, you guys, where on the surface you might think he's this rough and tumble guy that, this, that, and the other thing. I mean, everyone has their own perspective on different people. But he's a softie. I mean, this guy, he's a big teddy bear when it comes to certain situations. He wants this for everybody. He really does. And sometimes he wants it so bad that he just gets frustrated. He just gets frustrated and he sees what the hangups are. I think he's a guy that bleeds orange. If you cut him open, it's going to be orange, right? Ambit orange coming out of his veins. Because he would stand in front of a train for this company. That's just the way he is. He's all about integrity and heart, and just doing it right. So yeah, that's Ray. I mean, that's who he is. So get on that call at 10. I'm telling you, you are not going to be disappointed. He's going to be letting it rip tonight. I guarantee you. He's so on fire right now. It's not even funny. So get on that call.
Yeah, we're gonna tell him you said so. Coach is listening in, and I promise you, he's gonna tell us. Just let him have it. I don't know if you were outside at the pool, but I videoed some of that stuff, and that was a funny. Just let him have it. Just let him have it. So I want everybody just to see what a leader that Tim is because he's getting off our call to get on another call. I want to just tell you I appreciate you 100% for calling in tonight. And I wish we had a little more time with you, but I'm sure that we'll speak again. I'm gonna go ahead and let you off here tonight, and I'm gonna close this meeting out and let everybody know about our meeting that's
Awesome.
at 9 o'clock our time. I'm thinking about your time. You have a wonderful evening, Tim. Thank you again.
You got it. Thanks, everybody. Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate you, and we'll be in touch. Take care.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Tim.
Tim. Bye-bye. We want to ask everyone that's watching here tonight, if you would, please, would you subscribe to this channel? If you like the content that came out tonight, will you please just give us a thumbs up? If you hit the little bell notification, that'll allow you to get any time that we have content come out. So every Monday evening, we invite with free energy people to a meeting that's on Monday nights. We use free energy to invite, but they will see a business presentation while they're here. We want to help you guys grow your business faster. Please get on what you're seeing behind me, the 212 call. Hey, Courtney, can you post that over to the Facebook page? If you go to the Facebook page, please like that page. And that's where you can find out what a lot of stuff's going on. Coach Alan Johnson is going to have Ray Monty on this evening. Guys, he's a tremendous, tremendous leader. You need to get on that call. This is why we won the EC. What is it called, Courtney? EC what? Power team, the EC power team. That's why we're the EC
power team.
The EC power team is because of Coach Alan Johnston, and he does so much training, guys, and that's what it takes to grow this business. Plug in, get to work, subscribe to our channel. You guys have a wonderful evening. Courtney, do you have anything to say?
No, thank you for all of your questions. Thank you for posting in the chat. And we'll see y'all here in about 20 something minutes. We'll get on that call with Coach and Ray, and we're so excited that Tim was on. And thank you so much for tuning in.
You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for watching Ambit Gift. Good night.